RDNA 3 GPUs for high-end Radeon RX 7000 allegedly feature PCIe Gen 5 by 16 support, up to 128 GB per second transfer rates. AMD Navi 31 GPUs based on the RDNA 3 graphics architecture are allegedly going to offer PCIe Gen 5.0 by 16 support for the high-end Radeon RX 7000 series GPUs. The latest information regarding the high-end RX 7000 graphics card lineup comes from Kepler L2, who has been digging RDNA 3 GPU information through various drivers and patches. Now, the same leaker is reporting that AMD Navi's 31 GPU, the flagship for the Navi 3X lineup, is going to feature support for PCIe Gen 5 by 16 lanes. I wouldn't be surprised, the writer says, to see AMD first to the PCIe Gen 5 standard, considering they were the first to both Gen 4 on the 5000 series and Gen 3 on the old HD 7000 series. Just for comparison, the current AMD RDNA 2 Navi 2X GPUs feature PCIe Gen 4 support and come in a mix of by 16, by 8, and by 4 interfaces. Kepler only states PCIe Gen 5.0 support for Navi 31, though other Navi 3X offerings might also be getting the same protocol infused within their GPU I/O die, but with a limited interface on by 8 or by 4. The biggest benefit that PCIe Gen 5 brings is the doubling of the transfer rates from 64 GB per second to 128 GB per second. Currently, other rumors have pointed out that NVIDIA's RTX 40 series might stick with the existing PCIe Gen 4 protocol, even though they will feature the Gen 5 connector, allowing for up to 600 watts of power. AMD isn't expected to utilize the Gen 5 power connectors, so that's new. Initially, we had heard some rumors that they were going to. This is new information to me. That's actually super good for us from the mining perspective, that we won't have to worry about Gen 5 on the AMD 7000 series, potentially, and on their cards, and they might ship them with traditional connector design. Though, even if AMD does upgrade to the new Gen 5 12VPWHR standard, it will easily be adaptable to existing power supplies, and users won't have to worry about upgrading their PSUs, besides the power excursions that the new ATX 3 standard is designed to eliminate. Yeah, they kind of literally stated a point and then countered their own point. It's important to note that because of the power excursions on Ada Lovelace that we're expecting, ATX 3.0 is really going to be almost required at that point, because it will have capacitors and the upgrades needed to basically handle these power excursions. And the adapter plugs are really only going to work on the lower end GPUs in the Ada Lovelace lineup. Now, we don't really have a ton of power specifications yet confirmed or anything on the Navi GPUs. Maybe we'll find out here in this article, though. It makes sense to have the Gen 5 ready hardware within this year, as AMD has multiple platforms coming out that will take advantage of the new protocol. Just yesterday, AMD confirmed that their Zen 4 powered desktop and laptop chips will feature PCIe 5.0 support, so having the necessary Gen 5 I/O on RDNA 3 GPUs is going to improve the interconnectivity transfer rates by a big margin. With that said, AMD is working on multiple RDNA 3 IPs, as recently revealed in the latest Linux patches, and we also talk about various configurations with updated specs here. Here's some updated preliminary specs that they have listed. On the Navi 31, what we're looking at in 32, let's see, everything but the 21, right? We do see a 7700 XT potentially being around 200 watts, the 7800 XT being at 300 watts, and the 7900 XT being at 400 watts. The disappointing thing about, of course, this from the mining perspective is the limited bus width. I like big buses, and I cannot lie. Unfortunately, AMD 6000 series and on has been cutting their bus widths in favor of adding in infinity cache. And unfortunately, at this point, there hasn't really been any mining algorithms or miners that have basically accommodated to utilize and leverage the infinity cache at this point. With the upcoming release for the 7000 series, RDNA 3, whatever we want to call it by at this point, from AMD, I think it's going to be even more important to go ahead and try to get this solved, because the infinity cache is apparently going to essentially boost that memory speed significantly. I think on the 7900 XT, as we reported earlier this week, without infinity cache, you were looking at like 568 gigabytes per second, which is not that great if you compare it to something like a 3090 with almost a terabyte a second. But once added in for the accommodation of it on the infinity cache, the throughput can go up to 1.7 terabytes a second on the memory speed or the memory bandwidth. So I think it's going to be important to figure out how to leverage that. I am by no means a developer or anybody that would understand how to do it, but to me it seems like it should be something that should be figured out to leverage, whether that has to be at the actual algorithm level or just at the miner level for specific algorithms that maybe could be adjusted to take advantage of it. I don't have the information on that, but that's kind of where I lean towards for that. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Morning Show every Monday through Friday, 7:45 a.m. Pacific and 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. You can check out more clips here, or if you're interested in checking out the entire live show, you can check that out down here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next Tuesday.